You're watching Fugitive Red-Eye, and welcome to another anime review. Today we'll be reviewing the anime movie Tomb of Frankenstein from 1981. Tomb of Frankenstein is just one of the many names this movie goes by. It actually doesn't have an official name for the English dubbed version. It actually went under two different names during the advertising campaign of the dub, being Monster of Frankenstein and Frankenstein Legend of Terror. I've also seen it simply referred to as Frankenstein. It goes by many names, but Tomb of Frankenstein is the name I can typically find it under when I'm looking up information. That aside, the movie itself runs for about 98 minutes and is based on Frankenstein, as you can imagine. It does have a lot of differences between other adaptations I've seen, keeping in mind I've never read the original Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, but I have seen various adaptations of it. That said, the thing that's different with this one is the sidekick of Dr. Frankenstein, it turns against him and blackmails him because the monster's going around killing people and breaking stuff. And so his sidekick is blackmailing him. And then Frankenstein's monster kills the sidekick. But then so it's there's a lot of psychological stuff in the first half of it. They make you think that first it seems like the monster is stalking Dr. Frankenstein. And interestingly, in the dub, which is the version I've seen, the Harmony Gold dub, who also did do a dub of Dragon Ball, which was later lost, in the dub, they pronounced Frankenstein as Frankenstein, so it reminds me kind of Mel Brooks' movie Young Frankenstein, where he said it was pronounced Frankenstein. An interesting thing, the monster itself calls itself Franken in this. There's the whole thing about, is the monster's name actually Frankenstein? Which, in some versions it is, in some versions it isn't. In this, his name is Franken, because that's the only word he can say at first. But it does kind of go in this really interesting direction where the doctor is being harassed by the monster, but then it turns out a lot of that was also the partner staging it to make it seem like the monster was stalking him when he wasn't, with this, projector and stuff to scare him. But, in the second half, it becomes a little bit more of a traditional Frankenstein story where the monster is trying to find love, and then, he befriends the doctor's daughter, and, eventually he saves the life of the doctor's wife and father. There will be spoilers as well, coming up ahead, just so you know. But, the doctor himself, so the monster kills himself because, everyone's coming after him, right? And, he just jumps off a cliff. And then, after the monster kills itself, Dr. Frankenstein turns his gun on himself and kills himself in front of his daughter. And it's dude, the fuck? So the daughter ends up living with the grandfather, who was a prominent character in it as well. It was very interesting. It was done by Toei Animation. But the movie itself was very enjoyable. And as I did say, this was the second movie I watched on Halloween. I was going to do this again as a triple feature, along with Never Hike Alone. And then the third one that we'll be doing, I'll reveal now, will be Horror Express. I'll try to do that sooner than later. I know this is a little ways out from Halloween, so I apologize for the delay. But very good movie. Had some violence and gore in it. Not a ton, but a decent amount. Especially in the later parts. It's not, particularly gratuitous, but it can get kind of gory at times. The dub itself was absolutely terrible, but that's the only version I could find. It wasn't the worst thing in the world. It had a little bit of charm to it, that 80s dub charm. But not the greatest dub in the world, as you can imagine. Yeah, I did watch it on Halloween night, and it was a good adaptation of Frankenstein. I had a lot of fun watching it. Frankenstein is a great story, in my opinion, always has been, so different adaptations of it I have enjoyed. But, yeah. That's Tomb of Frankenstein, or Monster of Frankenstein, or Frankenstein Legend of Terror. But yeah, this has been Fugitive Red-Eye. I recommend you watch this. It's a fun one. Have a good one. Toodles.